All right, we are back with the death lineup, and we have two quick topics to hit on in this death lineup segment. One of which is about Steph Curry saying that Sunday is the goal to come back to the Warriors. The scrimmage, being able to scrimmage, was the holdup, and he successfully did that. And now he is earmarking Sunday against the Rockets for his comeback game. And, we've been fans. I mean, I've watched every season of Steph, and I know you've watched most of them and can probably remember most of them. But this is not something that is foreign to us as Warriors fans. Steph getting hurt, being out, and coming back at the end of the season. The difference here is the why, because in previous years, he was coming back to a playoff team who is positioning themselves for a possible championship run. This year, he's coming back to a play-in team, and really it's just to get the fan base a little bit excited again and to maybe be a preview of how he and Porzingis could fit together. Is this must watch for you come Sunday?
I'd say it's must watch. Stephen Curry's return legit has not played basketball since that one Detroit game before the All-Star break. It's been a while, and this team looks completely different, and not for the right reasons per se, but I am interested in the KP fit, even if it doesn't, look, even if they get blown out, like just kind of seeing what it could potentially look like. But I mean, as long as he's not rushing, like as long as like he's actually 100% good to go, then it's like, heck yeah, why not? Why not? Or else you haven't played basketball in forever. And as someone who, you know, plays basketball at the level he does, I'm sure it's like a love, and I'm sure it's like weird when it's not happening when it
Mhm.
should be.
We are fans of the death lineup. Not the death. We are fans of the death lineup. We are the death lineup. We are fans of Warriors plus minus. And it's been a lot of Tim and Nick Friedel on that podcast lately. But the other day, Marcus and Zena Kada recorded an episode, which was fantastic. I could listen to a Marcus and Zena show any day of the week. But one of the themes of that show in talking about Steph is Zena was saying, do you bring back Steph and then all of a sudden your coach has this decision to make of like, how much do I play this guy? Like, how much are we trying to win this this playing game? How much are we trying to win this second playing game? And then if we get past that, how much are we trying to beat Oklahoma City? Because in order to do all of those things, it's a heavy lift for Steph, right? And now he's coming back from injury. And Marcus basically said, great problem to have. Just deal with it. Steph and Steve and Celebrini, they will have a plan. They will just have to be very responsible in all of that. And then you're going to have to take the wins with the losses. So are you like, as you think about the idea of Steph coming back to this play-in team, do you want to see them win these two games? Do you want to see them, lose but do good in the Steph minutes? Like, of course you want to see them win. Now the draft position is going to be better if they lose, but
Is
all
it?
of a sudden, I think their chances to get into the lottery are actually improved by a certain percentage if they lose that play-in game. But at the same time, Steph gets on a heater and it's like magic again, right? And we haven't had a lot of that this year. So essentially, we're selling the idea of that feeling maybe for the better interest of the team.
Man, yeah, I don't know. Like I think I gotta see how I thought the draft lottery was like it's just the best 8 teams in each conference, regardless of play-in. Say like the eighth seed loses to the 9 and 10. Doesn't matter that you're not actually in the playoffs now. Like the season ended before those playing games were. So you're locked without a lottery pick. I got to see how that works again.
Oh, yeah, maybe their position doesn't change, win or
I
lose.
unless someone from the East, because it's the non it's the 10 through 14s or the 9 through 14s in each conference, and then it's I think it's maybe like sorted by wins and losses, but um to me, I'm kind of like house money. Like, why not? Like, it's fun to watch important like basketball games. That's the most fun as a Warriors fan is to watch important basketball games. And I know that it'd be a little different watching because like even last year there wasn't a chance, but like you thought that hey, you beat the 2 seed in Houston, you're whooping Minnesota in this first game. Like there's a chance. But I'd say this time around, like there is no Miami Heat Jimmy Butler chance, especially going up against the teams that they'd likely be facing with this little bit of, it's a completely different like, team. Kristaps is come in and Steph has yet to play with him like that. You can't just kind of totally figure that out on the fly, although I think they are good enough basketball players to figure out a good amount of it on the fly, but I think it's different. Like it's like house money important basketball, which I think it could be fun to watch.
All right. What about Porzingis? Because that is the next thing, which is maybe you do get a few games here with Steph and Porzingis together. Now, Porzingis is, again, he's missing the Spurs game. Now, for whatever reason, maybe this was planned, or I think the actual reason is illness. Maybe they're just using that to the NBA to say, hey, we can't play him. We got to make sure he's all good. And really, it's just a scheduled day off that I'm not sure about. But it sounds like he really enjoys the I don't know if it's the system or the operation. It sounds like he and Celebrini are really syncing with whatever the plan is for him. His health is obviously first and foremost, and the Warriors err on the side of making sure guys are good. And I say that in one of their most injured seasons ever. Are you looking at Porzingis as a rental for this year, or not even a rental, but a trade rental, I guess? Or do you think there is real opportunity that he comes back for next year and maybe that a second year?
Yeah, I think that when he got traded, that was one of my, main takeaways from the trade. It's just like as a Warriors fan, what the hell are you even rooting for? Are you rooting for him to play really well? Well, that might lead to him commanding more money, and you don't want to pay him more money than he's already making because he's going into unrestricted free agency. Do you root for him to be bad so that he can take like a big rental on, a big discount on the contract and re-sign with the Warriors? Like, what were you rooting for in this situation? And I think it's kind of played out, maybe perfectly than what you could have expected, where I guess looking at it just from the trade perspective too, of just like lately, I mean, how it started was like Kuminga is cooking, and then it's like, wow, our guy's not even playing. Like this sucks. And then Kuminga has completely like kind of seemingly hit a wall in these past, week and a half, and Porzingis is now playing really well, and now the Warriors fans are like, haha, like we won the trade now, and really it's like who knows what'll end up happening, but Kristaps has seemingly put out like a lot of kind of good things to say about the Warriors, especially Celebrini, and he's also played well. So I think what you can maybe realistically and hopefully expect is that he played well and he also is going to take the discount. So
Yeah.
that's kind of what it seems like right now, just based off of like the vibes and what you're hearing. Um, so that's what I'm hoping.
I also hope for maybe a little bit more of a selfish reason in that after all they did to keep JK for trade reasons, for value reasons, to trade him for a guy who hangs out and plays 20 games and then he's gone seems like a waste, right?
Right.
Like you would hope that what they get back they could actually utilize, because then it makes it feel like the plan somewhat worked, even if it didn't work 100%, but it somewhat worked. And it's not like JK's killing it on the other side either. So maybe this was the value overall, but it did seem like if they wanted to trade him 2 or 3 years ago, they could have got a better return. But maybe this is the right return, so we have to look at it that way.